Hello guys, Gene here with G Squared Tactical. We got the Wesson and CZ DWX on the channel today. Yes, I am excited about this one, and I'll tell you why here in just a second. I said CZ, Wesson, for two reasons. CZ owns Wesson now, and also because this is a mashup between a CZ75 and a Wesson 1911. Two of probably the best gun manufacturers in the world. And I know I'll probably get some hate mail for this, but I prefer the CZ75, the old school CZ75 SP01 grip over a 1911 grip. It just feels phenomenal in the hand. I love the deep beaver tail here. Just get a fantastic high grip on this gun, making it very controllable. Love the full length pick rail here. I've had my my Surefire, I guess it was an X300 that I had on here. Does have checkering on front of the trigger guard here, a very 1911 like trigger guard. Well, no, that's not true. Just a squared off trigger guard. I guess your 1911 is more of a rounded trigger guard. I guess this would be more like what you would see on the 1911 Emissary. Kind of very similar. Like I said, it is serrated on the front here. You do have 25 LPI checkering on the front strap and on the rear back here. Very smooth up here through the web of your hand. Just making this gun phenomenal, very comfortable to hold in the hand. You got these sexy aluminum grips on here that are very thin, which really thins down the grip on this thing. And you do have the Torx type screws holding them in place and not some gawky flathead screws. And it does have two 19 round magazines. Something very cool about these magazines, other than the fact that it has a CZ logo on the front here and a Wesson logo on the red dimpled aluminum base plates here. What that means for you is if you have any CZ P09s laying around, which I do, got a bunch of these magazines, a bunch of them, the P09 mags will fit in here and will function just fine without any issue whatsoever. That is a huge plus for me. Really like that. One of the first things you'll notice about this gun, other than the K-type flat face serrated trigger red here, and the red grips of course, and just the overall sex appeal, one of the first things you'll notice is just the sheer weight of this thing. Like this thing has some serious weight to it, which, you know, I don't really care much about. It's balanced very well, especially even more so once you get a full magazine in there. It is just balanced very well, and just feels phenomenal to hold and point. And I just can't say enough about the overall feel of this gun in my hand. It does have a very functional slide release without, that's something you can't really get on a 1911. Like usually on a 1911 you have to adjust your grip in order to get over and push down, and sometimes can be very difficult to push those slide releases down, but not here. I mean, literally this is where my grip's at, and I'm able to manipulate that slide release without changing my grip on the gun at all. So if I loaded one in there, is out at the range, loaded one in there, I'd be able to drop it without adjusting my grip. Very nice, very usable front slide serrations here. Typically I don't get into this whole press check from the front thing. A lot of times, because my hands are not as strong as they once were, I can't manipulate the slide like that, but the slide on this thing is so smooth that it's very easy to manipulate with these front slide serrations. Of course, it has the rear slide serrations, and it does have a tactical, you know, I guess square commander type hammer on here. And as I mentioned, the CZ lower, the CZ profile, And the overall length on this is, I believe, comes in somewhere around 8.5, something like that, 8.6 I believe it is. It does have a barrel length of 4.95. The overall width on this is 1.5, and the weight comes in at a staggering 45 ounces unloaded. So again, you will notice that you're holding on to something. It does have a Dan Wesson branded dovetailed in rear sight that is adjustable for elevation, and you do have the dovetailed front sight, both steel of course, that has the fiber optic green insert in the front sight. Picks up very nice when you're out at the range. I've had this in all kinds of light, sunlight against a white background, gray, black, whatever. It picks up very, very nice. And you have this serrated area across the top from the front sight all the way to the rear sight that cuts down on any type of glare off the top of the pistol, which you don't really understand how beneficial that is until you're standing in the sun out at the range like we are, and you are trying to stay on target and pick up and acquire that front sight, and you have that sun glaring off the top. I know, yes, of course, I've missed something on this gun. I try to keep the videos short and sweet, just try to introduce you to the gun, give the information. Again, like I've said in some of the other videos, the reason why shorts and TikToks and things of that nature are so popular is because people have low attention span. So we found that if we make 17, 18, 19 minute videos, people just won't watch. They just want to see and hear. And so basically I tell people, and Trey and I tell people, the things about the particular firearm that are important to us, the things that we would want to know when we look up a firearm for potentially buying it for ourselves, what we go to the internet or to YouTube looking for. It does have an ambi thumb safety here. You know, I don't know about that. I guess we'll have to wait till we get to the range. I own an HVAC business. Trey and I basically run that business, and we're very, very busy right now. It is super humid and very, very hot in North Carolina here, so it's difficult for me to even get out here and do this range video, or I'm sorry, this tabletop video today, much less get out to the range. Just excited because I literally just picked this thing up. Just something back when it was released at the beginning of the year, I just couldn't spend $2,100 on. I did pay $100 over MSRP, as the MSRP on this gun is about $19.99. But whatever, dude, I wanted the gun and I got it. You can't find it anywhere. Haven't been able to find it in store for 6 months, basically. Haven't been able to find the gun. So whatever, I wanted it. I went out, I picked it up. It's in my possession now. It does have a swappable mag release that is very, very tactile, stands off very, very well off the frame here, and I can, as you know, I'm a snob about that as well, I can easily manipulate it without changing my grip on the gun at all. So that's good. That's a plus for me. And the loads and reloads seem as though they're going to be very, 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 very easy. I like the option of being able to run out to the range and take my P09 mags out there that have the plastic bottoms on them and don't have to worry about dropping them and goofing up my pretty sexy red rear on here, or red base plate I mean. And I just can't wait to get this gun to the range and shoot it. And that is a big plus to me. That's something I would want to know. You can use the CZ P09 magazines in this gun, 19 round, double stack, orange follower, front serrations, rear serrations, serrated across the top to cut down on glare, adjustable for elevation, rear sight, square hammer, you know, a very tactile commander type hammer, as I had mentioned. The trigger on this, on our gauge, came in at about 3 pounds, which is absolutely phenomenal. Reset is just, I mean, as you would expect from a 1911. It's almost non-existent. It's very tactile. You can hear it, you can feel it. Just a wonderful, wonderful trigger. I can probably see myself double tapping this accidentally a couple times out at the range. That's how light this reset is. It does have the, as I mentioned, the flat K style trigger, and it's got a lock breech barrel, simple, ditching the standard 1911 link system. You know, of course it is. It does have this, I don't know what you really call that, a crown barrel. It's recessed really far in there. Somebody's gonna say, why do you stick your hand in front of the muzzle? Like, well, I did it for you guys, okay? I wanted you to see what I was talking about here. Recessed very, very nicely in there. And I just can't, again, wait to get this gun out to the range. And I hope we enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed my other CZ Dan Wesson type pistols, or CZ75 P09. They're some of the finest shooting, most accurate pistols for me anyway on the planet. And I want to hold my opinion about this safety. I don't know. I don't know about the safety. We're going to find out at the range. I'll tell you more. I'm not going to say too much. I don't want to kill the mood, if you will, because I really, really like this gun. I don't want to say anything bad about it. So I'll hold my comment about the safety until we get out to the range. Thank you guys for watching today. I'm sure, again, that I left something out. I'm sure you trolls will let me know what that is. We can't do 35-minute videos and dig down into all the internals of the gun, because number one, if you tried to condense it all into a small package, people would miss something, and number two, people don't have a 35-minute attention span anymore. So we just went over the pertinent information. Very, very smooth, nice finish on this gun, as you would expect from Dan Wesson. Can't wait to get this thing to the range. Stay tuned for that. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, and please subscribe. We can't do this without you guys. Thank you so much for watching today. God bless.